Dan Walrack, Builtstrong Exteriors, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And what's something that you would suggest to a sales rep looking to add another million if they're like at 2 or 3?
The better leads.
William Andes with Andes Roofing. So I got married about 7 months ago. We're getting right close to 7 months. And having someone in your life that can stabilize your emotions and stabilize your lifestyle. So that for me is a foundational building block, because when I was a young single guy, I was like, I don't know who I'm going to marry, I'm going here, I'm going to this state, and I don't know who. And to have an emotional stability, my sales numbers went way up because I committed to who I was going to marry, and we got married. So,
and they make you make more money.
And they make you, and then they help you spend money too.
Yeah.
But
this requires you to make more money.
Vision, so that relationship with your spouse will give you a vision. So like outside of roofing, so like we have life, roofing. So now my other passion is real estate. So roofing is funding the real estate, but my wife gave me the passion inside of roofing to find the vision in real estate. So outside of that, also consistency. So I will say this, if you go to bed at 10 o'clock at night and you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm a very spiritual type of person, so I like to read the Bible in the mornings and have a devotional, and then right after that I go into a workout and then I start my day. So sleep, if you don't go to bed at a good time, like the statement, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. If you don't follow that and your sleep schedule's like this, your stress and anxiety at 12, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when it starts to do this, I realized this in my life about 4 days ago, and I've been on this like consistent schedule of sleeping right, and my stress came up, and then it just trickled off because of the consistent sleep pattern and getting up and exercising. So that's a big thing.
Dan Walrack, Builtstrong Exteriors, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And what's something that you would suggest to a sales rep looking to add another million if they're like at 2 or 3?
My first suggestion I would think of is broadening your relationships out there, right? I mean, you've gotten that step now where you're hustling, right? You're getting that homeowners, you're getting hopefully the referrals off those homeowners, and hopefully having those people work for you. Mm-hmm. Next step is building those relationships with the outer side, the B&I groups, the insurance agents, the insurance adjusters, broadening that horizon. And the goal is take your numbers and set your goals, just add 1 to each goal, mm-hmm. right? So if your goal is to sign 2 people a day or whatever it is, try to sign 3, or bring out your goals and bring out your yearly goals is what I would say. So.
I should note, you did 18 million this last year. I mean, I've been making a lot of content with you, so, but for the people watching this video, you did 18 million. What would you suggest to go to 19 million? No, just kidding.
To 19 million. I would say instead of waking up at 4 in the morning, you might have to wake up at 3.
Yeah.
But
for years and years, right, you said you were kind of hitting like at least 3 or 4 every year, right?
Oh yeah.
So that difference between 3 and 4, that's I guess what I'm asking, because I think most people are not going to hit 18 million.
No.
Which I like that you can inspire people with that, but to add that extra million, even if you're going from 1 to 2, you know what I mean?
I think a lot of that is experience and knowledge.
Yeah.
And in knowing what you're selling, knowing about yourself, and see a lot of people that have that misconception when they go out there. Their misconception is they're out there trying to sell the company.
Yeah.
Where if you're out there trying to sell the company, it's difficult to get that extra million because the company is going to sell itself. Yeah. You need to sell yourself to these homeowners. You need to add value to why you're there, all right?
Yeah.
And that's important. I mean, in adding value, you're saying what gets you from 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Well, what gets you from 3 to 4 is just that knowledge base, that experience, that value that you're giving. I mean, a storm doesn't hurt either, correct? I mean, sure. Yeah. I mean, you got a broader storm range, and this is a little tidbit to all those little storm chasers and everybody out there. When ground zero hits, I stay away from ground zero. I always do the outer edges of a storm, just because that's where the value of you is needed. Yeah. When you're in the middle of ground zero and they got 4-inch hail that looks like hockey pucks and that thing's obliterated, you don't need me to tell you that you've got damage on your house, right? But when you're doing that 1.5-inch storm that's on the outer edges, and you've got 6-10 hits in a 10-foot by 10-foot area, most homeowners are going to climb their roof and say, let's check onto my roof and see if I got hail damage. That's where your value comes in. That's where your needed comes in. And you can paint that picture and tell them a story of the hailstorm.
My name is Herman, and I sales for local roofing. The exact word is use process, finding a process like that we talk about here at Top Rep, and doing it every single day so that appointment is identical to every single one, so everyone's a practice of the one before. And that's what I would say. You'll get good at that 60 minutes and 90 minutes, and every appointment's the same, just people have different problems. And yeah, just how many times can you do repetitions of that appointment with doing the same exact appointment every time.
Name's Andrew Schell, Northface Construction, 1.9 million.
All right.
Add another 900 million, or 900,000, I would say definitely follow-up. I think follow-up is extremely important. I think a lot of people just give up on leads after, a month of not hearing from them. Continually calling them, checking in. A lot of people do want to just wait, so I'd say call them and follow up.
Awesome. Anything else?
Continually training, and this is my second Top Rep event, so you can always learn more every day. I've taken in a little bit more from the last event, so I think that's another piece of the puzzle to make sure you're learning every single day. I'm very direct. I'm not salesy. Customers tell me all the time that when I'm direct, there's no way to interpret that as salesy or pushy. I'm informative, I'm educational, and that I think puts me in a different category than a new person, because they just don't have the confidence that somebody with, I've only have coming up on 3 years, but education and continually learning, you just build that confidence over time.
Look better, leave.